to Young Life Live, brought to you by 19 counts of various destruction. Wow. My name is Bill, not to be confused with my most excellent cousin who plays lead guitar in a band called Wild Stallions, whose name is also Bill. So, thanks for joining us again. Last week, I traveled back to ancient Macedonia to meet some dude named Alexander who thought he was really great. I still don't get it. He had pots and pans strapped all over himself. I know a lot of guys who lived in a van down by the river who look the exact same, who aren't so great. Now, I don't know about you, but I've always been fascinated by guys who have two first names. A first name for their first name and a first name for their surname. So today, we're going to go meet some dude called Robert, who also sometimes goes by Bruce. Let's hop in the time machine and see what we can find out. Why does this dude have two first names? Bam! We're here. All right, off to ancient Scots land. I think we've arrived. Let's take a look. Whoa. Scotland is pretty spectacular. Let's go see if we can find Bobby, also called Bruce. Hey, Bobby, also Bruce. Robert, also called Bruce. Bobby the Bruce. Robbie the Bruce. Bruce, comma, Robert. Where are you? Bruce, also Robert, where are you?
Here I am.
Whoa. I'm in Scotland. Where are you?
I'm hiding in a cave.
Oh, that makes sense because I'm looking at a cave. You just can't tell from my background.
That's right. Yeah. I'm stuck, hiding from my enemies, the English. Oh.
Wow, no continuity issues at all.
That's right, yeah.
So, do I call you Robert or Bob or Mr. Bruce? What do you prefer to go by?
King Bruce works for me.
All right, King Bruce. So the question on everyone's mind in my most excellent viewership is, why did your mom decide to give you a first name for your first name and a first name for your last name?
Well, Robert was my dad's name. And so she had to keep it in. Otherwise, my dad would disown her. But secretly, she really wanted to call me Bruce. So that's why she hid it at the end. My dad was none the wiser. He was like, oh, Robert, perfect. But I thought Bruce was actually the better name. So that's why I make it a point that my name is Robert the Bruce.
Whoa, super interesting. I have another question. You were called Robert the Bruce, as in
right.
All the other Bruces in the world are going to be compared to you. How do you live up to that kind of pressure?
Well, normally I hide away in my cave. I kind of chop the legs off spiders. I also try and once I've wallowed in my pity enough, I realize, actually, you know what? I'm pretty amazing. And so I go out there, I smash everything up with my battle axe, and I become king. So actually, I realize the best way to live up is to become a king.
King of what, may I ask?
Logs, the king of rain, well, basically the king of Scotland, but logs and rain were really what we got.
Who is Scott and why did you take his land?
Uh, oh, well, well, Scott was he was my childhood bully, and I kind of thought more often than not, oh, Scott, I'm gonna get you one of these days. All those logs are gonna be mine, so I can chop them. So I did take them. Um, but I felt kind of bad, But all right, fine. I'll keep your name, I suppose, and this could be your land as well that I take. Sure. You can't really become a king without, cracking a few eggs, if you know what I mean. Especially a king of Scotland. We'll be the same. So tough.
Well, that's good to know because my favorite meal is breakfast. So when I wake up tomorrow and make an omelet, I'll think each one of these brings me a step closer to being a king.
That's right, yeah. And if Bill, is that your name? You need to become a king, Bill. King Bill, That's why you'll be the billest of them all.
If I had my own kingdom, I would call it Philadelphia. But I think that's all the time we got for it. Thank you so much, Robert Mr. King the Bruce, for taking the time to tell us all about kings.
You're very welcome. Happy to oblige. Ta-ta for now.
See you, Mr. the Bruce. Whoa. I don't know about you, but I'm a little scared of Scottish kings. I mean, you might as well name the History of Scotland course the History of Murder course. Okay, let's hop back in the time machine. Has anyone seen my time machine? Time machine? Time machine? Oh, there you are, time machine. Let's get back to the present before I wind up like all those dead spiders and eggs. Great to be back in old San Dimas, am I right? So check in with me in 2 weeks' time after I make some omelets, crack some eggs, and hopefully have founded my own kingdom of Philadelphia.
This week's Young Life Live challenge was 6-inch parkour. Parkour, but not more than 6 inches above the ground. Watch this.
I feel it in my head, my shoulders, knees and toes, my bones, your music gets me through the highs and lows. My head, my shoulders, knees and toes, my bones, you keeping me from feeling all alone. You keeping me from feeling all alone. You're a part of me now, I can't let you go. You're the heartbeat of my soul now that I found you. My nights will never be the same again. I got you running through my veins. I feel it in my head, my shoulders, knees and toes, my bones, your music gets me through the highs and lows. My head.
Here we go. Oh, that was crazy. Remember, kids, do parkour but no drugs.
You keep me from feeling alone.
Banana split.
I feel it in my head, my shoulders, knees and toes, my bones, your music gets me through the highs and lows. My head, my shoulders, knees and toes, my bones, you keep me from feeling all alone. Here we go. You keep me from feeling all alone. You keep me from feeling
Can I take a video of your dog in the little coat? Okay, it's really cute. Thank you.
You keep me from feeling all alone.
We want your videos of 6-inch parkour. And guess what? The winner gets 10 pounds in the form of a gift card. Better get hopping.
Me from feeling all alone.
This is Zacchaeus. He was a tax collector, and not a lot of people like tax collectors because people thought they were liars and cheaters. So Zacchaeus lived in Jericho, and one day Jesus was passing through Jericho, but he was too short to see over the crowd.
Go away.
Zacchaeus thought he could climb up in a sycamore tree to see Jesus. Zacchaeus was in the tree when Jesus walked by, and Jesus said,
Zacchaeus, come down.
and so he did. After Zacchaeus came down, some of the people were angry, and they said,
Look at who Jesus stays with. He's a sinner.
So Zacchaeus said, I will pay back my debts. And then Jesus said, Salvation has come to this house today. This man truly is a son of Abraham.
Have you ever been patched? And I mean patched like mad horde. Patched like your mates who were around and saw it happen went, ooh. Moment of silence for the fallen. Have you ever seen someone you really don't like get patched? The suck up, the brown nose, or the person who annoys you? Have you ever seen that person walk up to somebody that they really admire and get completely dinghied? Did you celebrate just a little bit? The crazy thing about the story that we just heard is Jesus kind of does the same thing. The story says he was passing through Jericho. Now, when the city of Jericho heard that Jesus was on his way, the most important, most religious, richest people in the city would have gotten together and decided who's going to throw Jesus a house party and who's going to host him. And so they would have gone running up to him, oh, Jesus, we've got this amazing spread. Come stay with us. And Jesus just passes on through. He says, nah, fam. And he walks up to this dude named Zacchaeus. Now, we heard that Zacchaeus is a tax collector, which means he was kind of a thief and a robber, but more than that, he was a traitor. And there would have been some people in Jericho who would have wanted to kill him. As a matter of fact, part of the reason he doesn't run straight through that crowd and get to the front is because somebody probably would have killed him. But Jesus marches straight up to this dude, the most hated, most reviled person in the city, and says, Zacchaeus, I'm coming to party with you tonight. You ever feel bad about yourself? You ever had this crazy thought that, I don't know if this God stuff does exist, but if God does exist, he wants nothing to do with me? I'm too bad. I've done too many terrible things. If God wants to hang out with people, he'd want to hang out with religious people or rich people or people who had something to offer him. I've got nothing. What if that's not how God worked? What if, in fact, it was the exact opposite?